everyone, it's Bretta from runforfit.com, and today I'm going to talk more about the exact mechanisms in which walking barefoot outdoors more often can quickly escalate foot strength and lead to better quality foot function, and how cushion stiff running shoes could consistently provide worse care to the feet. Because as the evidence increases, we see that the high injury rates among runners is a more convincing reason that potentially less protection on the feet may equal more stimulation to keep muscular engagement flowing and going in the foot. And so you end up with stronger feet from essentially wearing less protection on your foot. I've spoke about this before, about how exactly going barefoot strengthens the feet, and I really don't need to sound like a broken record, but it's really important that people understand that cushion running shoes may disrupt the orderly function of key mechanisms that underlie strengthening of the foot. It's important to realize that the feet aren't mechanically sensitive and fragile. The feet can successfully and sufficiently work and function quite well and optimally independent of external support. As a basic principle, muscle activity in the feet generally fuels foot muscle growth, meaning that muscle activation, or when the muscle is strongly activated, this enables the muscle to strengthen. However, it's important to note that most muscle activation in the foot is stimulus driven or sensory driven, in which barefooting is going to give the best collection of raw sensory stimulation that directly causes rapid firing of nerves in the bottom of the feet. This nerve activity is harnessed to do work on the muscles within the foot, which is a key intervening variable that produces changes in foot muscle volume and creates a portal for accelerated foot strength. This explains why when individuals adopt a more barefoot or minimalistic lifestyle, their feet often become fatter and less bony when you are barefoot. The rapid uptick in nerve activity is continuous, so the nerves that line the bottom of the feet are continually active, and talking to other nerves such as the nerves in the ankle joint, nerves in the knee joint, as well as in the spinal cord. And as a consistent response to this ongoing nerve firing and activity, muscle activation dramatically increases, and so does foot muscle strength. So these are the key environmental contributors that underlie the forces behind how going barefoot typically helps promote the propagation of nerve activity, which facilitates the spread of waves of muscle activation, which produces measurable upticks in muscle strength, muscle volume, as well as muscle function in the foot. In contrast, susceptibility to foot weakness and fragility can arise from repressed or limited sensory conditions, such as wearing cushion stiff running shoes. Cushion running shoes may disrupt the orderly flow and conversion of sensory stimulation to muscle strength. This is why a lot of experts and healthcare professionals are actually warming up to the idea about barefooting because of its ability to shovel in more infusion of muscle stimulation, whereas the loss of foot muscle volume and strength potentially caused by stiff, heavily cushioned running shoes may be the result of disintegration of nerve stimulation and muscle activity. Not only that, cushioned running shoes may disrupt the flow or transfer of oxygen within the foot itself, which may also lead to foot function stagnation and reduced foot muscle strength. It is led to believe that changes in nerve stimulation and nerve activation may lead to changes in nutrient-rich blood flow and oxygenation levels. When the nerves are highly active or stimulated, they consume more oxygen, which is pulled out of the blood flowing in the nearby capillaries, which welcomes more nourishment to the soft tissue compartments and muscles within the foot. That is why you really want to maintain high levels of nerve stimulation on the bottom of the bare foot to drive more blood, more oxygen, and overall more nourishment through the foot. So the feet can be more able and functionally adapt. This is why barefooting makes perfect sense, since the feet are more heavily and intensively stimulated than having the feet jammed into very narrow, highly stiff motion control stability running shoes. Because of the relative differences in blood circulation, having more barefoot involvement is what really works for being a basic building block for essentially building stronger, more resilient feet. This is why I strongly feel that barefooting can really be a game-changing effort and should be a big priority, because in most cases, nerve activity and muscle strengthening are linked. This link is one of the reasons many coaches are buzzing about the health and performance benefits of barefoot running and walking. Barefooting can be a clearinghouse for many foot and ankle injuries and is essentially a recipe for spurring better running performance, because when your feet are strong, that holds the promise to potentially avoid foot injuries. Not to mention, the best distance runners in the world, most of these runners are from East Africa, so Kenya and Ethiopia. Most of these distance runners ran barefoot for a very long time and are still clearly ahead of the curve. But to understand how to strengthen the feet is to understand the connection and the link between nerve activity in the feet and how this nerve activity can affect the very physiological mechanisms responsible for rebuilding the foot muscles. In that spirit, if you are frustrated with slow progress, sit there and walk barefoot. It certainly is, and is a certified worthwhile path, as optimal foot function typically runs on plentiful sensory stimulation from the natural ground. You will always benefit from the influx of revitalizing sensory stimulation and energy when you go barefoot outside. For more information on barefoot running, please visit my blog, runforfoot.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there in the roads. Bye for now.